We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. Cause Kristen knows blank.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Kristen Knows Blank podcast, the podcast where I sit down with stand-up comedians and we talk about what they do when they're not doing stand-up comedy. My guest today is Brad Wenzel. He's hilarious. We met at a comedy festival. He's been on the Conan show several times, and he has a brand new album coming out right now. In fact, I think I have a clip from his new album. Hey, computer lady, play that new clip from Brad Wenzel's new album.
Now playing a clip from Brad Wenzel's new special/album, Joke Joke.
I think a UFC fight would look more organic if the referee was a drunk woman who kept yelling, "You guys!" I don't like the evil clown from the It movie, but I bet nobody hates Pennywise more than a regular clown trapped in a storm drain. He's like, I know this looks bad, but please help me.
Oh my God. So he's going to be my guest today. I'm so excited to have him. Before we get to him, my name's KRISTIN KEY. I'm the host of this crazy mess. Please go to my website. It's KRISTINKEY.com. Look at my tour schedule. See if I'm going to be playing a city near you. Like, follow, and subscribe to all my social media. Watch all my videos 100,000 times. That's all. Okay. Now that you've done that, let's get the show started. I'm so excited. We had a wonderful time during this interview. So computer lady, please play that interview with Brad Wenzel.
Playing interview with Brad Wenzel.
Brad, I'm so glad that you're on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell me okay, so what are you promoting? I'm so excited. I heard the clip. It's hilarious. Everybody now has heard the clip on the show because I played it first. Tell me about this project.
Thanks. And thanks for listening to that clip, everybody. I hope you didn't turn the podcast off. They're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Damn it, Brad, you cost me so many listeners.
Got a special and an album coming out called Joke, Joke, Joke on YouTube or wherever you get albums and stuff. And it's self-produced stand-up comedy. So if you like the clip, if you like those jokes, it's like 40 minutes of jokes like that. So head on over right now.
Who wouldn't like it? Who would? All right, yeah, you've done it. You've promoted. You've done what you came on to do. Now it's my turn. Do with you what I will. No, you're a fantastic comedian. We were talking about this just moments ago about how difficult it is to self-produce, but I feel like your product really does sell itself. Once people hear you, I think that they really enjoy you. So your task right now is just getting people to listen, because once they do, I think they're hooked.
Well, thank you. Thanks. That's the hope.
Yeah, you're so clever. You're so clever, and I feel like your punchlines are. It's like you're nothing like. Oh, who did Cobra? Ali Wong. You're nothing like Ali Wong, except for you have those punchlines that I didn't see coming.
Oh,
so,
cool.
In that way, I would compare. You are not a pregnant Asian woman.
I did a lot of pregnant specials, and they did not resonate the way that I thought they would.
But your punchlines hit, and they go where my brain didn't. So I really enjoy that.
Oh, thank you.
We met at a clean comedy fest. Is this correct?
Yeah, we met once before that, but I don't know if you remember that or not.
I was probably drunk. I quit.
No, you weren't drunk. But
okay. I was to play that card. I was probably just drunk. It was when I was drinking.
I met you at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, the old location, when I was like a little baby comic. I was probably like 2 years in. And I remember meeting you there.
Yeah. But I may not have been drunk. But yeah, okay.
I remember, and then I'm meeting you again at that comedy festival. That was a few years later.
What a fun! That was fun for a lot of us too, because I think several of us didn't know why we were booked at a clean comedy fest, and we did our very best until that last show.
Yeah, everyone was getting kind of loose.
Yeah. It's like 3 people said "fuck," and we were like, "It's a clean comedy fest, you guys." So
yeah, bunch of troublemakers.
Oh, comics. Tell to follow the rules, not a bunch of rule followers. So I do this podcast because it's like in green rooms, you find out so much about your fellow comedians that happens outside of comedy. And so like an onion peeling you back, there's a few things I want to ask you about. And first is, I want to hear about your relationship with Little Caesars Pizza.
Oh yeah. I'm pro. I
Okay.
think I think as a pizza, they get a bad rap. And I think there's a lot of people out there. I think the pendulum is swinging back. I think with the internet, I think there's a lot of pushback in the pizza community where I think they've gotten written off, I would say.
Okay.
And I'm a Little Caesars apologist. I don't think it's I don't, that should be their slogan. I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that bad,
It's
guys.
not that bad.
There was a time, like I remember when Little Caesars was like their marketing was way up. Like it's just in the
Mm,
late 80s, maybe early 90s, where like pizza was a big deal.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because it's like the cheapest one, then people are like, well, it's de facto bad. But
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it's not bad because you when we were getting ready for
But
the
you're not saying
pod,
it's
I think
good. You're just saying
no,
they get
it's
a bad
good.
rep. They're not
No,
that
I
bad.
do think it's good.
Okay.
I think because you use the term guilty pleasures,
I like,
and I
yeah.
was like, my mind went to Little Caesars because that's the thing where I'm like, everyone rags on this. Like, I'm not supposed to like it, but I'll take that over some other quality quote unquote pizzas. When the mood strikes,
Okay.
I'll go with the Little Caesars.
How would you rank your pizza places? Like if there was like top five, like where would you put Little Caesars in the top five of like easy to access national
Like
pizza chains?
corporate, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
corporate pizza. That's what I'm saying is I think I'd put them number one, which
Wow.
I think is
Okay. Okay. I'm glad we
controversial.
pulled that out of you. Yeah, because you didn't
Yeah,
start there. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
See,
that's
there's a
such an
lot of
unpopular
shame.
opinion. You're just
There's a
like,
lot of shame involved that you have to couch it in a lot of like, I know what you're thinking. I'm not crazy. Hear me out.
wow.
It's not that bad. I'd put it number one or number two. If someone passionately came at me with like, no, Domino's is a better pizza, I think I would like concede that because I could put those neck and neck out of
Okay.
the big corporate chains. But like, I'm taking Little Caesars over Pizza Hut.
Whoa. Okay. I was with
I'm
you.
taking it over Papa John's.
Pizza's so subjective to me. Because like I was like Little Caesars and Domino's, I would have been like, no, Domino's is further down the list. Little Caesars beats Domino's, but I'm like a Pizza Hut loyalist or apologist or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
I'm like, I'll fight for Pizza Hut because
No, that's
yeah,
that's low on my list. That's
interesting.
a only in hotels am I getting Pizza Hut.
That's like the
You know
best
what?
place to
I
get it.
have
So
a
you feel like a
funny
dirty little girl at a hotel with your Pizza Hut.
I have a funny hotel Pizza Hut thing that happened when it was like height of COVID and I was in Arizona like on my way I was driving across the country and I stayed at this hotel. Well, it was kind of more of a motel in Arizona, like where your door opens up to the wilderness. And and this is like I said, like height of like still very no one totally knows, like way before the vaccine or anything. And I ordered a Pizza Hut pizza, and when the dude came and delivered it, he knocked on the door like Pizza Hut. That's how he started it. And then I opened the door, and this was like in a time where like people were like very strict on like masks, like, especially if like you were getting something delivered or something. Like that was the whole point.
Right.
And granted, this was in Arizona, but even there,
Well, they didn't
uh,
have COVID there.
right. And so then I open the door, and he doesn't say like hi or anything. He immediately hits me with "Dinner is served," like that.
This is Pizza Hut.
And
Yeah.
then I was like, I like laughed, and then I took the pizza, and he was like into the night, like it was so fast, and it wasn't until I like had turned around that I even realized like that dude didn't even have a mask, but he had so much charisma that I like didn't even notice because he hit me with so many bits so fast that I was just like, but I think that was actually the last time I had Pizza Hut.
Okay. Okay. God,
But
I
all
wish
that being
every delivery
said,
driver had that kind of energy.
it honestly, yeah, you'll look the other way on a lot of stuff.
He was probably, I'm just assuming stoned because when I delivered pizza, I was always stoned. So
Yeah,
if I had a
I would.
personality, because I was probably really high.
I kind of if you're delivering pizzas, I kind of want that for you because I don't want
That's
you to be suffering,
right. It's why
I
a lot
want
of
you to
people
be
choose
having
that
an okay
job.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, delivery driver, no problem if you're stoned. Uber driver, I do have an issue when I get into a car that like reeks of pot, and I'm like, is this safe? Is it
Yeah.
not? I can't. I'm still not sure.
I'm still too like I got into to weed later in life, so I'm still too afraid to drive. If
Good
I
for
like
you.
I just it freaks me out too much. I tried to write a joke about it, but I couldn't quite figure out like articulate it. But like sometimes I would be high on the bus, which is like a dirtbag move. But I'm like, no, it's because I'm too scared to drive right now.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. Like, no,
You
I'm
know what
doing
I
the
mean?
right thing. I'm getting
I know
high.
how I smell, and I know what you're thinking, but I'm really a good guy.
With that look, you have, and there's a ladder behind you. It just so
There
like
is a
when you
ladder,
said I was on
yeah.
the bus, nobody went you. Or just like, uh huh.
Yeah, I got on the bus for a while.
I think I
Pizza Hut
found
too greasy. That was my
a Pizza Hut's too greasy. Okay.
went on a tangent. It's too
When a
greasy.
man who rides the bus calls Pizza Hut too greasy, I
Yeah,
gotta say boo
that's
about
coming
it.
from me.
Okay, that's fair. It's very greasy pizza. And like I've worked for all of them. I worked for everybody. I never worked for Little Caesars. I worked for Pizza Hut, Papa John's,
They
Domino's,
they don't
CC's.
deliver famously. So
They don't. Yeah.
they were like Kristen need not apply.
That's right. Come and get it, bitches. Um,
That's your take on hot and ready.
come and get it. Yeah.
Come and get it, bitches.
The other thing we share in common, besides I do love pizza, and I spent a lot of my life in the pizza industry because of my love for it. I think we've talked about this before at Comedy and Magic Club that we both share a love of professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, big
And
time.
mine is definitely an era. There was an era for wrestling for me that I was super into it, and it was from late 80s to like late 90s. There was like a decade where to
Okay.
me wrestling was at its peak in my life, and it was the
Right.
Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage having this beef over Elizabeth, and like
Oh yeah.
earthquakes,
The
and then
mega
Jake
powers
the Snake. Yeah,
implode.
things were happening. It was all real, and there was a lot
Yep.
of drama, and that's what hooked me in. So I keep calling them relationships. So talk to me about your relationship with the world of professional wrestling.
Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan. It was like I think that's pretty common where people are fans as kids, and then you fall off kind of like teenage years, and then you find it again later. Not everybody does that, but a lot of like adult wrestling fans.
Yeah.
That's the trajectory. Like you're really into it, and then you kind of fall off during high school, and then you find it again later, and you appreciate it for different reasons.
I'll agree with you. I watched a couple
Yeah.
matches last night, like online, just to like
Oh,
prepare
I
for
love
this, to be
that.
like, oh, who's up right now, and who's like,
You're
and
eating the Little Caesars. You're watching it.
I have to prepare for my job, honey. But I was surprised, like how when the match started, like I couldn't turn it off until it was over. Like just
Yeah.
like when I was a kid, like
It
two
got
people
you.
go into the ring, and then whatever they do, however it ends up, and man, if someone comes in from out of nowhere, it's just like, don't call me, don't knock on the door. Things are happening. This is so important right now because I really get sucked in.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's such an exciting, like, like it takes like the most exciting aspects of any other sport. Like in baseball, like once in a blue moon, someone like charges the mound, and the electricity of a baseball like
Yeah.
audience when that happens, that's just pro wrestling the entire time. They're just bottling that.
We
Like when
start
you
at
said
11.
someone runs in, and I'm like, yeah, that is. It's just insanity the whole time. And right now, I'm like extra spoiled right now because I haven't seen you since this happened. But now my wife works at wrestling in the travel department.
Wait, how do you
Yeah,
she's just what's your I work at wrestling.
yeah. She's in the travel department. She books flights and hotels and does like permits and logistics.
For pro
But she
wrestlers?
for do you know AEW, the newer company?
I've seen it. I saw it online yesterday when I was looking at
Yep. So that's where she works.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Did you guys
I'm
fall
like
in
a
love
kid in
because
a
of
no, I kind of got her into wrestling when we've been together a long time. And when we first started dating was when I kind of refound it. And then
Yeah.
I kind of nostalgically would be like, hey, watch this. And then she like got it. I was like, this is why this is fun. Like through the eyes of an adult.
Her? Yeah, what did you show her to pull her in?
The thing that I remember that got her, that was like, this is like, because sometimes it's hard to articulate to people like what is fun about it. And especially I think a lot of comedians love it because we like the reactions of the crowd. Like because like at least for me, I like watching people kill, and wrestling kills.
Yes.
Like when it works, it's like people are on their feet and you're like, oh, they're like tearing it down right now.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's like 1-2 kick out and it explodes. Like that's like the same as like a laugh. Like that. And that's like I get that little like adrenaline chemical change from that, watching that. But the thing that I showed her that I was like, you gotta like understand like what is like why I love this thing was Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm.
So I was explaining, I was like, Mick Foley had those different alter egos. Okay, so he had Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love. He had all these different alter egos. I go, what's so fun about wrestling is like I want you to watch this clip where it's Triple H in the ring and he thinks he's gonna fight Mankind, but he finds out that he's not fighting Mankind. He's fighting Cactus Jack, who is the same guy. And I was like, just watch how this plays out. And I'm like, I can't stress enough, this is the same man wearing different clothes, but he's just gonna have a different vibe. But we all know it's the same guy. It's not even trying to hide it,
Right.
And Triple H is the bad guy, he's the heel, he's in the ring, and then he finds out like, oh no, you're not fighting Mankind tonight. You're fighting Cactus Jack. And the place goes nuts. And Mick Foley comes through the curtain and the entire place loses their mind that it's Cactus Jack. It's his alter ego. And Triple H, who's the bad guy, he's like, he's selling it like, you gotta be shitting me. Like he's like kicking the ropes. He's like, I can't fucking believe this. Like he's freaking out because he has to now fight a guy who put on different outfit. And I was like, and then she was like, I totally get it. Like, look how fun this is. Like, I'm like, I can't compare another medium to that, like another entertainment thing to that. And I think that distilled what is like fun about wrestling. and then I think she kind of in that moment got it. And that was years and years ago. And then she just lucked out and got this job. So I want to do some jokes about it eventually because it's still kind of new, but it's like I feel like I like saw the Make-A-Wish people kill someone. And now I just get all the Make-A-Wishes I want. I've been to so many wrestling shows for free.
It's time for
5 quick questions.
5 quick questions with
Let's
Brad
do it.
Wenzel. Number 1, I ask all my guests this one. This is just a easy question. You've been offered 3 times higher than the highest amount you've ever been paid
Okay.
to do comedy at a nudist resort, fully nude. Would you do it?
Ooh, that's tough. I almost feel like right now I kind of feel like I'd have to.
Because you're riding the bus?
Yeah. Would I want to? No.
Oh,
but like
that makes it even worse.
no.
You're just doing it for
But
the
at
money.
the same time, it's like, I don't know if I can comfortably. I think turning that kind of money down is almost just as uncomfortable as the act. But I wouldn't want to do it. But it would definitely. I'd have to really like stand in front of the bathroom sink and look in the mirror and be like, you might have to do this. But it would be under duress.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's a good comedy show if the comedian's crying and covering themselves.
Yeah.
Question number two. If you were a professional wrestler, what would your name be and what would your signature move be?
I would be Wolfman Wenz, because alliteration. And
Yes.
I kind of look scraggly now.
I'm buying it all right. I'm like, yeah, okay,
works.
wedging some brown ties. I gotcha.
And my finisher, I'd have to have one of those finishers that you can, because I'm not like really like strong or athletic, so I would have to have one of those moves that you can kind of do to anyone, like something like you know how someone would like do the claw or something, where it's like I would have to go back to like a very vintage style, like some sort of like a temple slap or something. But when I do it, it's like it's very devastating.
All right, question number three. There's a time machine, and you're given one token. I guess that's how it runs on tokens. You can choose to either go back for 1 week and change nothing, or go back for 1 day and change something. Which would you do?
If we're altering historical events, like morally, you gotta try to change something horrible. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you got to take a shot at Hitler, right? You got to like.
Wow, everybody says better things. The first thing that popped into my head was like I would go back to being a horny teenager for like 1 week and just be horny. And then like you're the second comedian now that's been like, I would probably try to change. I'm like, man, yeah. Like
it would be like, I mean, it would be like, I don't know if I'd pull it off, but I'd be like, because I think if people
did Wolfman Wentz just take out Hitler?
I think if people found out that you had the option and you didn't try, they'd be pretty mad at you. So I'm like, you gotta at least try. Someone did a bit about this. I don't remember whose bit this was, but just that they were like, it's people always say they would do that with a time machine, but it was and I wish I could remember whose joke this was, but they were like, there was a lot of people trying really, really hard to kill Hitler.
Right.
So it was trickier but I'm like, I think if I have time machine technology, I can like show up while he's on the can, hit him with a hammer, and then
go with the hammer.
Yeah, and then I disappear.
Yeah.
or a gun, whatever. I went hammer for some reason, and then they come. Then a bunch of Nazis come in, and they're like, "What did you eat?" There's just a dead Hitler on the toilet. But,
wow. Well, so I know that you want to do good for mankind, but also I think you kind of have a thing about wanting to kill somebody with a hammer. So we're learning
I don't know why I went hammer.
Much about you. Question number 4. You've been kidnapped and you've been entered into a hot dog eating contest to save your life.
Okay.
How many hot dogs could you eat?
This has just happened to me. But honestly, I think I could put away a lot of hot dogs. Wait, so if there's a right answer here? Like if to save my life, how many could I eat?
Yeah.
Like, I think I could eat, if my life was on the line, I bet I could eat like 15 hot dogs.
Wow.
I think.
Okay.
If I thought I was going to die.
How many can you normally, like in a sitting, do you eat like 1 or 2 or 5? Like what's your
If
normal
it's like the
number?
4th of July, I'll hit like, if I'm eating hot dogs today, like if I'm like, if it's like 4th of July, that's kind of what I've been doing. Like I'll try to eat a little bit better, but then if it's a holiday, I'll be like, this is the point of a holiday.
Yeah.
So then, but I'll hit like 3 hot dogs.
Okay.
But I know in my heart I could do more, but I'm like stopping myself.
Okay.
So I'm like, I bet I could comfortably eat like 5 or 6.
So it's that last 10.
So then out of like animal survival, fight or flight, I think I could eat 15 hot dogs.
Okay, I hope you live.
I could be wrong
I feel
about
like
that.
That's a good number. I feel like it's a good number. I mean, gun to your head, I feel like
gun to my head.
Most people's survival skills would kick in.
You're going to pull down deep.
Yeah. You're putting them in other holes just to get rid of them. Okay, question number 5. I'm so sorry. You've been kidnapped again. This time you've been entered into a karaoke contest.
Ooh, this is tougher than the hot dog thing.
To win or to save your life, what song do you sing?
Ooh, man. See, karaoke to me, I don't drink, so it's like waterboarding. But
it's fair. That's fair.
I like wonder because I stopped drinking like really, really young, and so then just I had a blood sugar thing, and then like I basically was like, one day I was like, I can't understand that karaoke is as popular as it is, because it seems for the number of people who come up to you and are like, I couldn't speak publicly. I'm like, it's kind of shocking how big karaoke. And then I like a little light bulb went off in my head. I was like, oh, booze. Yeah, if I had like 3 drinks, then there would be no problem.
Would you break
it'd be
your I don't know if you even call it sobriety, but would you break sobriety to save your life?
Because I would give a
contest?
better performance. So if
Okay.
I'm performing to save my life, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna feel really nauseous after this, but I'm gonna give a much better performance if I have a few drinks, I think.
Okay.
And then I would go with I think I'd go with We've Got Tonight by Bob Seger because I like know the words.
Nobody would see that coming.
Yeah, bring it down with a ballad.
Who needs tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
I also think I could, with my
it's a
energy,
great song.
I could do a ballad, you know?
If
like
you
I-
didn't do a ballad, I think
It's
we'd
like
all be
in
disappointed.
it's in
Yeah.
my range as a comedian.
I was gonna say nobody ever says I could do a ballad. It's in my range. But you mean as a comedian? Yes.
Yeah, like
you are
energy
correct.
level.
Yeah, that matches your energy very well.
Like if I was doing stand up for 30 minutes and had to walk over to piano, it would be a ballad, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And now it's time for Rad Libs. All right, favorite part of the show. I've written a story. I've left out some parts of speech. If you give me the parts of speech, together we're going to make a hilarious story. It's time to play a Rad Lib. I need an adjective ending in EST.
Fastest.
Okay, yes. A first name.
George.
An occupation.
Chiropractor.
Yes. Oh, God. This is actually really good. A disease or illness.
Diarrhea.
My God. It's like you're standing over my shoulder.
It's a comedy podcast.
We don't have enough diarrhea on this show. This is great. An article of clothing.
Scarf.
A question.
Y'all ready for this?
Onomatopoeia. An onomatopoeia.
Doink.
Yes. A verb.
Shuffle.
An adverb.
We'll do sheepishly.
Excellent. A verb ending in ing.
Clowning.
God, this is so good. Body part.
Foot.
Foot. A food.
Jelly bean.
Yes. Oh my God. I feel like we're gonna need to publish this. It is so good. A celebrity.
Elvis Presley.
Oh God, no one saw that coming. An era.
The 1980s.
Yes. Something distracting.
The thing on the wing of the plane from the is that a Twilight Zone?
An article of clothing.
Bigger scarf.
Yes. An exclamation.
Bazinga.
We have a story, my friend. We have a story.
Uh-oh.
Because of your love and our shared love of professional wrestling, this is called SmackDown. This is the SmackDown. Tonight
Wonderful.
promises to be the fastest matchup in pro wrestling history. The crowd favorite, George the Savage Chiropractor, is facing off against a relatively unknown fighter, Diarrhea Man. George the Savage Chiropractor enters the ring wearing his signature bright red scarf and shouting his famous catchphrase, "Y'all ready for this?"
I love this guy. This guy's fan favorite, right?
He's a Savage Chiropractor too. You know he does some shit. Whew.
Got more charisma than a Pizza Hut delivery guy, this guy.
The audience doinks enthusiastically in response. The challenger
Feel it.
shuffles his way through the audience and sheepishly climbs into the ring.
Diarrhea Man is that really plays as a character. He's like, I'm sorry, excuse me, sorry, I'm so sorry. It's not a confident.
Oh no! He has no Diarrhea Man.
He just wants to go home.
As soon as the bell rings, both fighters come out clowning. Diarrhea Man takes hold of the Savage Chiropractor's foot and begins twisting. Enraged, George wriggles free and climbs the top rope. He attempts his signature move, the Flying Jelly Bean. But wait, from out of nowhere, Elvis Presley jumps in the ring with a steel chair and knocks the Savage Chiropractor into the 1980s. He came in out of nowhere. Well, the ref saw nothing. He had been distracted by that thing on the wing of the plane in the Twilight Zone. 1, 2, 3. That's all it took for Diarrhea Man to win the title and take home the coveted World Wrestling Championship Bigger Scarf. What a match. I think I can speak for the entire audience when I say, Bazinga.
Man, I forgot how Mad Libs are fucking fun, man. Or Rad Lib.
Yeah.
Great, especially for a podcast, the medium, you're onto something. I'm glad you're doing this for another year.
Thank you. Yeah, this podcast almost was canceled until you came on. It was so canceled,
Man.
and then you brought it back.
I haven't
from out of
done one in
nowhere.
a while. Really, really enjoyed it.
Man, that makes me feel good because I write one I write probably at least 1 to 3 Mad Libs a week for different shows I do, and so it's nice to just have someone to play with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Diarrhea Man shuffles sheepishly through the audience.
I want a Diarrhea Man
Was
t-shirt.
so like, had we written it, it wouldn't have been as good
No.
as that.
This is a treasure. Will you tell the audience and everybody what you're promoting and where they can find you online?
All right, check out my special or album. If you like listening to podcasts, you might like listening to stand up. But it's called Joke, Joke, Joke. The special's on YouTube. The album's wherever you get albums. It's on vinyl too, if you wanna buy that. And you can get all that, the links at bradcomedy.com or Brad Wenzel on Instagram. That all the links are gonna be there. But yeah, check it out.
Oh my God. Well, you're fantastic. I love everything you do. I'm so glad that you came on today, and good luck with your album and everything. It's always nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Likewise. This was so fun.
Interview complete. Saying goodbye to Brad by hitting him repeatedly with a metal chair and screaming, "Y'all ready for this?"
Oh, computer lady. That's never happened on this show. Thank you, Brad, for coming on the show. Guys, thank you for listening or watching. Go find Brad online, download his new album, watch his special, and become a fan of Brad Wenzel. He's hilarious. Thank you for listening to this podcast. This podcast will keep going throughout this year, so support it however you can. Get a cameo from me. Join my Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff on there. But if you join my Patreon, it supports this and my other Live at 5 show. So just become a fan and jump in with both feet. It's a lot of fun. Next time, I'll be bringing you another hilarious comedian. We're going to chit chat, play 5 quick questions, do a rad lib. Until next time, bye.
We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. Cause Kristen knows blank.
I'm just gonna say a bunch of funny stuff. That's how I like to do it.